It can be a very difficult job. So Tony explained to me in more detail than I am going to do right now about how game development works. I'm going to give you the very short version. And that is, when you're building a solid technological foundation for a game that's pushing the envelope in so many ways, progress is exponential. Many of the visible and I can't say it. Yay! Many of the visible dividends come in the later stages, after all the tools and systems and layers are in place. So having said that, I have recently seen and know this to be true. So here's Chris Roberts to explore more of Star Citizen's universe with you.
Hello, Cologne. Hello, Gamescom. Hello, Star Citizen community. That's the right thing. So tonight we're going to show you something I think pretty cool. So hopefully you'll like it too. But before that, we'll just sort of recap. We were hoping to go live today. I think we're going to do another PTU today, and maybe we'll go live sort of the end of US time. If not, it'll be early next week. There's a sort of random frame rate, like runs well on most machines, and then occasionally comes down frame rate wise, and then comes back. So we're trying to track this one tough bug down. But anyway, so SC Alpha 2.5 will be out very soon. So it has the Grim Hex Outlaw base. I think we've sort of shown on around the verse a little bit. It has some new features like the ship landing, the audio improvements here and there, new graphics features. So it has our sort of new highlight and lens and tone mapping system, which I think you actually saw on the UK ATV episode if you watched that. And Alistair Brown, our director of graphics, explained. We have some new content. We have a new gun, the size 5 laser cannon, which is actually the guns that are meant to be on the Starfarer, and so they will now be on the Starfarer. And we have a couple of new flammable ships, the Misk Reliant and the Argo, which is sort of a utility craft for larger ships like the Idris and the Javelin. Let's move on here. Hang on a sec. It's Bluetooth. It's very unreliable. Probably everyone's got a million phones here too. Okay, so Grim Hex is a new hub for the more morally ambiguous of you out there that like to shoot other people. And so we now have 2 spawning locations, which is kind of fun because you've got the law-abiding folks and the not so law-abiding folks. And it's got shops where you can buy different things that you can buy on Port Olisar. It's going to have a couple of other locations that are coming in over the next series of patches. So bar, sort of a hacker bounty booth, and a racing kiosk. I think we sort of showed the fact you can, even in Grim Hex now, if people are paying the PTU, you can sort of see where the racing track's going to be. And we're actually pretty keen in putting racing in fiction, sort of in the persistent universe. So that will be pretty cool. There we go. So the new landing system, we had a little feature on it. The idea is there's 3 modes: manual, semi-automatic, which is basically manual, and then there's sort of an assist near the very end of it, and then there's the fully automatic view that don't want to crash horribly into the landing pad. And they're actually in the persistent universe, the fully automatic will only be available in space stations that are sort of equipped with it. So think of it like in the modern world where there's certain airports will have the systems to connect up to the most recent plane so they can sort of actually do an auto landing, but an old airport wouldn't. And we're going to have the same in the persistent universe. So we have a few more HUD improvements for it, so it's a bit more readable. I think we've sort of shown that. We're going to continue to work on the UI and the graphics of that to sort of not have the AR too present, but also be able to sort of read where you can land and where you can't land. And there's a simple activation of it. So you just deploy your landing gear, turns the landing system on. I remember to do it over here. There we go. So the Argo is a ship we talked about in ATV. So, yeah, Nathan and his UK ship team certainly know how to make utility craft look sexy. I'll definitely say that for them. But it's an MPUV, I guess. So multi-purpose utility vehicle. And short range, like I said, it's the sort of utility craft for the Idris and a few other bigger ships. And it can have different roles, so it ultimately is going to be able to interchange the pods. So it'll have a sort of rescue and recovery pod, a cargo pod, and a passenger pod. And boop. The other ship that will be flyable in 2.5 is the Miss Reliant. So that's the Miss Reliant. I think those of you that have been playing the PTU, you're probably messing around with both the Reliant and the Argo. But obviously once 2.5 goes live for everyone, then everyone can enjoy them. And it's a very, very cool ship. So anyway, it's kind of one of my favorites. Boo, here we go. All right. So the next patch we're going to do, I'm just going to give you a little highlight of it, but we're not going to focus on it here tonight because I'm going to show you something even beyond that. But just to give you a heads up of what we're going to do in the subsequent patch, which is 2.6, which... So, I know. The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, is what I would say about Star Marine. But we've been working a lot, and I think we've sort of showed a few things. I think you've seen on the ATV. There's a bunch of other really cool stuff we've done in terms of the motion, the eye stabilization. And we're really sort of bringing Star Marine in. And originally we wanted to sort of use it as a test bed for the FPS, but now we actually already have it in the mini PU, so there's less of a reason for a test bed. But there's still a reason to do it, because like an arena commander, you may just want to jump in and dogfight and not have to worry about like losing items or equipment or traveling somewhere to get into a fight. So right now if you're playing 2.4 or 2.5 PTU, you got to go to Port Korea or somewhere else where you can engage in PvP. So the idea of Star Marine is obviously to sort of have a quick in and out competitive shooter, practice your skills using the weapons that we have and the play mechanics that we're going to have. It's a little more tactical based FPS. We've spent a lot of time, we've been working on a sort of new area to play that will have both FPS and 0G EVA combined moving around. So that's different than what we showed a while ago, or last year. We've got fully remastered weaponry. So I think you've sort of seen some hints and pictures of sort of what we've been doing the weapons over time, but we have a really talented weapons team that's based in Frankfurt here in Germany, and they're doing awesome work. The controls, the gun handling, all the moving around, there's a lot more fluidity and everything than we had a while ago. It's actually one of the reasons why we didn't sort of bring it out, because we sort of felt like we really needed to spend time making the feel and everything work well. So that's all part of it. It's also got some new characters. You saw a little bit of a teaser. You can sort of see them in the images here, but it's part of we've sort of changed our character tech around, our shading tech. We're continuing to push on it. All the stuff we're pushing on for Squadron 42 benefits Star Marine, and you're sort of seeing some of it, some of the profits of it that will be in Star Marine. In addition, on the 2.6 patch, we're actually going to spend some time on Arena Commander, so you can think of the 2.6 patch as sort of working on the kind of competitive, quick arena game modes for people to play. Arena Commander, since we sort of launched 2.0, we've been sort of focused on adding features and content in sort of the large world of the mini PU, or however you want to call it. And so Arena Commander itself hasn't had enough love, and we feel that it needs to have some. So we're making a focus on that, sort of to go as the partner with Star Marine, Arena Commander. They're both sort of the in-game fiction quick play games. So we'll sort of talk later about it in the future, but we're working on both the flight and sort of combat improvements in terms of making the dogfighting feel a little better. So I was trying it out this past week in the UK, and I think it's going to be good, and I think you guys will like it a lot. So that's going to be a big thing. We're working on improved camera modes. So in terms of looking around and making great chase shots or orbital cameras and a few other cinematic cameras, we're going to give you guys some more tools to be able to capture awesome footage. Because, to be honest with you, you guys already do an amazing job with very limited tools, so we want to give you more to make some great videos. There's a few gameplay things that we're going to play with the different game modes in terms of rearming and not allowing people to just crash into an asteroid to respawn with missiles and full ammo again. And we're going to have an asteroid slalom race around the Grim Hex, so it'll be a new race part, which will be cool. And we also have a new multiplayer deathmatch area too. So there'll be basically a new race map and a new sort of combat map. Arena Commander is going to get some love, and I think that'll be great. On the the Herald and the Vanguard Hoplite never had so much love. So the two ships will be flight ready for 2.6 will be the Herald and the Vanguard Hoplite. So the Hoplite's a dropship variant of the Vanguard. We use it in Squadron 42, and we'll be bringing it in to be flight ready in 2.6 for you guys. All right. So in our tradition, before I get to the meat of the show, here's our Gamescom concept sale. I think we unlock the pictures on Twitter? Yeah. So it's the Anvil Terrapin, which is like, I actually really like the design of this one. It's very cool. But it's, like a turtle or a terrapin. It's a pretty tough nut. It's sort of a long... So originally it was a military, like a UEE military sort of long-range reconnaissance exploration scouting ship. So it sort of focuses on, scanning, long-range radar abilities, as well as having a lot of shielding and armor. Hence its sort of terrapin nickname. So it's long-range, heavily armored, and has powerful shields. Ooh. And these are the stats of it for all the people that love stats. And of course, all this stuff will be on the website. It's got a fair amount of shield generators and radars, all for its size. It's a multi-crew ship, so it has a crew of 2. That's on the website. I actually, to be honest with you, I don't. I know it says. No, I really don't. I don't know the price for it. But anyway, it's kind of cool. You can sort of see inside the scanner operation area in the back here and the pilot area inside. And it's really kind of cool. It's got some really great animations when it lands and deploys and all the rest of the stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about... So originally this was going to be 2.7, but in our end of year tradition, especially when we make massive leaps in technology and content, we sort of took a look at it and said, no, it should be called 3.0 because there's going to be more content, more tech, more features in this than there was in 2.0 last year. So it's our big end of the year release. So we're going to get it out the end of the year. Hopefully not on December 19th, but like last year. But it is a big one, so I'm not making I get shot for making promises, but that's our goal. So it's going to be the debut of our planetary tech, of which we're. Of which I'm going to show you guys a preview of here tonight. It's pretty cool. The preview I'm showing you tonight is our V1 version of the tech. We've got a V2 version of the tech that is a level beyond actually what I'm going to show you tonight. And in CitizenCon, we'll actually show you that. It's not quite ready for prime time yet, and it's also not based on the landing locations we're showing, but it's going to get better than what you see tonight, and tonight's really good, so just remember that. So another big thing is we're going to expand. So right now, if you're playing 2.4 or 2.5 PTU, we've got a few space stations. You start on Port Olisar, or you can start on the Grimhex asteroid. There's a couple of places to visit, like the Port Korea, which is sort of the free-for-all PvP area, or the Kovalex shipping hub, which is sort of the adventure, free EVA, retrieve things. There's the Yellow Asteroid Belt, and it's sort of in orbit around Crusader. But that's it. It's in a very small portion of the Stanton system. So with 3.0, we are going to put the full Stanton system in there. So it's going to include the major planets, ArcCorp, Hurston, Microtech, the floating areas around Crusader. We're putting Delamar in there, which is where Levski's based. It's actually fictionally in our universe in the Nick system, but we're sort of bringing it in there to have an additional location to sort of fly and drive between. There's going to be a whole bunch of space stations, moons, and asteroid belts. I think we've got like over a dozen moons or something like that. And we're probably going to have something like 30 or 40 space stations. So our goal in... So our goal in terms of building out the star systems is we're focusing on a lot of density for the play area. So instead of going from a star system to a star system and visiting one going to one star base or going to one planet or two planets. The idea is there's just a lot of texture and character and history in the stuff. And in a little demo, you'll get a flavor of that we're going to show. But the key for me, and you sort of now there's a fair amount of talk out there because obviously No Man's Sky just came out, and for a while Elites had its procedural planets. But we're more focused on building a universe and a world, and we have a lore and a history, and so it's a different approach, which means we're not going to have billions of planets or billions of star systems, but we're going to really sort of craft them. So when on our planetary tech, we do use some procedural techniques in the system, but it's all artist driven. So it's all about us providing tools for the artist to create planets at a scale fairly quickly, but it's completely sort of artist driven in terms of where they place the mountains, the forests, the oceans, all that kind of stuff, as opposed to it comes out of a super formula that works its way down, and then it sort of makes all these different planets. And the big reason for that is so we can craft a universe that has history, lore, and character, and you sort of feel like you're in a living alternate reality, which is kind of what I'd like to venture around in. So that's a big thing. And if you've played my games in the past, you'll know that I'm big on lore and history and an environment that you can sort of relate to emotionally as well as tactilely. Okay, so when we'd extend it, we're also going to add some basic professions. Right now, if you're playing SC Live 2.4 or the PTU 2.5, there's some simple things you can earn some money for, and you can, of course, shoot each other and shoot each other again if you want. But there isn't, the sort of variety of things that like normally you'd have in some of the games I've done in the past, like Privateer or Freelancer. And so for the first implementation of 3.0, we're going to have the first implementations of trading, sort of buying and selling things, cargo transportation, piracy if you want to take that cargo away from people, mercenary if you get paid to protect the people from having the cargo taken away from them, or a bounty hunter if you want to earn some money going after those people that were trying to take the cargo away from someone. Additionally, we'll have the very first iteration of our sort of AI system in it. So, I think one of the goals that I've mentioned is that we want to have a living universe. So partly it's to have a whole bunch of real players in, like all you guys here, but also to make it feel, and it's a big universe. So if you think about it, we live on planet Earth, and there's about 7 billion or so of us, and there's still areas on Earth that you can walk for days and not see anyone. Even in one star system in Sandland, with the amount of planets that you can walk on any surface and go around, there's definitely going to be areas where you won't run into other players, even if we supported 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 players playing concurrently in one star system or on one planet. So AI plays a big part in that to make places feel alive and populated. And consumption is, we've been working on it a while. It's going to be pretty cool. This will be the first iteration of it. It's going to get better. We'll continue working on it, but it sort of allows sort of schedules for NPCs. Someone goes to work in the morning, goes get lunch, comes back, moves around, and it sort of feels like people do things. And it's almost like if you want to have a mini version of The Sims, that's kind of what the subsumption does for you. There's a whole bunch of other, and this is one of the reasons why we're calling it 3.0, because it's going to have item 2.0 in it. We've been talking a lot about item 2.0, but it's a world of difference. So, when you get into your, if the side of the Hornet is an example, I think we'll do an ATV episode on this, an up-and-coming one. But instead of just the simple use, and that's all you can do on a ship or an item, it's contextual, so there's different things you can do. So you could walk up to the side of the Hornet and you look at the sort of deployment of the ladder, and you can say deploy ladder, and then you have the option to retract the ladder or climb ladder and open canopy. So all the different things that you can contextually do, it will allow you to do. You get into the cockpit, you look around the cockpit, turn the power on, turn the engines on, so you'll be able to interact with the different areas of the cockpit. And other things like, I don't know, if I had a water bottle, which I had one over here somewhere, which would be good because I'm getting a bit of a dry throat anyway. But if I had a water bottle and I had it here, I could like contextually look at it. It would say I would have pickup option or drink. So if I took it and I would drink it and put it down. So that's actually going to allow for a lot. I'm picking up objects, moving them around. The grabby hands, as it's been described, will all allow for a much more tactile, interactive universe and allow for a lot of different kind of game experience and gameplay mechanics. So imagine, you're flying out in space and your ship's under attack and parts of your fairly, like whatever, your constellation, fuses are blowing in the back. You've got to go repair the engine of the reactor, and you've got to go and change out parts of it. You'll be able to do all that, and that's what Item 2.0 enables. And so it's going to allow for a huge amount of really, really cool gameplay and all the kind of things that, like, if you see a sci-fi movie, you go, oh yeah, that's just like that. So it's going to be cool. And additionally, we're going to have the very first iteration of our new net code refactoring. So what we're calling Star Network 1.0. It still will have quite a ways to go going into next year because we're trying to mesh servers together to have large population counts. But the first iteration is just increasing the throughput, the performance, to enable us to process sort of more complicated scenes, have more players, and sort of have the network be less blocking. So that will be in 3.0. Subsumption, which we mentioned, the very first iteration of that will be in 3.0. And then sort of subsumption mission system will also be there, which is it's sort of built on top of subsumption, and it allows us to sort of have very dynamic missions that interact with the AI and can also be sort of built up in various templates or procedurally, and to allow us to sort of make really interesting encounters. And I'm going to be showing you something here that sort of shows a little taste of a few of these things. Oops, hang on, did I guess it? Yep, there we go. So just on this, so I'm going to give you a little gameplay preview of 3.0. As I said, the planets themselves are using our V1 tech. The V2 tech is another step above, but that will be for CitizenCon for folks. But it previews a lot of the things that I've just talked about. In particular, we're going to sort of show what a more sort of in-depth mission would be like. So besides sort of the kind of environmental missions that will be generated based on what's going on in the star system, this location needs to get goods from here to here, or this factory needs something, and so there's missions for cargo hauling or protection, or going after pirates that are sort of plaguing people. There'll also be sort of more character story-based missions you could go for, and so we're going to do a little gameplay demo that will show example of what a mission giver will be like in sort of 3.0, and we're going to have several different characters in every system eventually in Star Citizen that the shady guy in the back of the bar, or go to an office, back office somewhere, and so the more complicated, more interesting missions will sort of come from these characters, as well as the general stuff. And then of course we're going to allow players to interact and do business with each other, and that's the long-term goal. But this is to give you a little bit of a taste of that. So let's go over to the demo. So we're going to start. So we can bring the lights down, guys. All right. I'm going to go back here with the boys, so I won't block the screen for you guys. There we go. There we go. All right. So we're going to start here on Port Olisar. So a lot of you guys are quite familiar with this, with playing 2.0 onwards. So this is Glenn. He's going to play our surrogate player. Howdy, Glenn. All right, so let's get out of bed, Glenn. Hey, you already saw this. Although he's been eating Benny's noodles, it looks like down there. Yeah. Oh, well, it looks like we've got a little video. Someone sent us a video message. So let's go see what that is.
Hey, how are you? Miles Eckhart. Friend over at Crusader said you've been building quite a rep. I run a modest security outfit, and I'm always on the lookout for capable people who don't rattle. If you're interested in picking up some extra work, we should talk. I'll send my details.
Okay, so looks like we got a new mission, possible security job. So we'd have to go to Levski to find out about it. So let's go over to our mission manager. All right, possible security job. There you go. So travel to Levski to meet with Miles Eckhart. All right, so let's accept that. And let's head out to the pad. For this mission, we're going to do sort of a mini multi-crew mission. So we have Chris over here, who is going to partner Glenn and be the pilot to Glenn's all-performing action hero. And you guys, obviously, you guys know Alisar fairly well with its various shops and locations.
Report Alisar ship deck. Please press the screen to continue. Kindly ask the guests to take care of. Relax, comfort and safety. Wide line when you can cruise the stars aboard a Crusader Industries Genesis Starliner.
And luckily Glenn slept in his spacesuit, so he doesn't need to get changed. Alright, here we go. So Chris there waiting for us on the landing pad. Hello.
Hey.
Let's wave to him. There you go.
Hey.
So there you are. We switch between Chris and... Alright, okay guys. Back to... there we go. And let's get in our freelancer. So we thought it was about time to do a demo using a freelancer. Wow, that door didn't work before or something?
Yep.
Wow. All right, come on, there you go. All right. Okay, let's get in our co-pilot seat and look over. There you go. Okay, let's... Okay, let's just head out.
Landing gear up.
Chris, look over, Chris. All right, I'm back. Switch. Okay, all right. Now let's go back and let's switch from our radar to star map. So this is an early work in progress, and it'll be obviously much further along by the end of the year. But you know the star map on the web, and the capabilities and visual qualities will be the same here, but this is obviously the standard system, and when we're navigating around in such a large area, you can't really have 1,000 nav markers, and so you're going to use your map for that. Obviously we're by Crusader, and if we zoom into Crusader and then zoom in further, we can sort of see the moons and the different stations. So you'll be able to do all that. So let's pull out a little bit. And it's going to be much snazzier and better than this. It's sort of a work in program. And if we pull out a little bit, Chris. So, and then Microtech is where you'll see Hurston, Arcorp. And if you know the web map, you'll sort of know Stanton. But let's go to Delamar, which is where Levski is set and base. So let's activate quantum travel. Double click on that. So here we are, this is the upper orbit station outside Delamar, which is a sort of rocky, small planetoid. And Levski on board it is, originally it was an abandoned mining town facility, and it was sort of taken over by the People's Alliance, which were a group of sort of anti-UEE kind of political activists during the Messer area. And so since then it's sort of evolved into a place free from sort of the boot of the UEE, so to speak. And if you kind of, as long as you don't hurt someone else, you can do whatever you want. So it's, think of it a bit like Mos Eisley, perhaps, in terms of being a bit of a den of villainy and scum. So we'll just get a bit closer to lower orbit stuff. And so in 3.0, and we're demonstrating every planet, every moon will be fully done, rendered, physicalized. You can land on any part of them, walk all the way around it if you want, if you've got months to do that, because they're quite large. Delamar here is about 2,000 kilometers in diameter, and you can actually see if you look at the curvature. So we don't have any clip range or draw range. So when you see something in the distance on the planet, the horizon line is the actual real horizon line. So the guys in Frankfurt that are doing this, the engine team, so they're pretty genius. So Marco Cabetta and Carsten Wenzel are sort of the leads of that, and a lot of this is all their baby. So as we slowly pull down, we'll start to enter the atmosphere, and as we sort of start to enter the atmosphere, you sort of see the atmospheric head come in and go us, and also. And as we get down into the atmosphere, it switches to a more atmospheric flight model. So there is drag, there is some small amount of sort of lift, sort of aerodynamic modeling. So if you have a ship like the Gladius, you'll fly better than something like the Aurora. So here we are, and anywhere on Delamar, we could land, get out, and walk. So as we fly down here, perhaps, Chris, we could demonstrate and just land and get out somewhere, wherever you want. Hey Jared, you want to go back to the front view for a bit? Yeah, perfect. And then maybe do picture-in-picture, yeah, there we go. So there you are, Glenn's opening up the back. Chris is bringing us down. And then let's go to Glenn's view, Jared. That's perfect. There we go, beauty. And like pot out. right, well, that's going to be a challenge. See, we did land everywhere. Let's see if we can you jump up? I don't know if we'll be able to do it. Let's see. Jump. Jump. All right, okay. Chris is going to have to land somewhere we can. He'll move a little bit so he can get in. All right. No. Nah. I'm not sure you'll be able to make that. Let's see if you can. Hey! Okay. All right. Okay, well, that was an unscripted adventure for you. And let's get back. And let's take off and head into Land of Levski. So Levski is, like I said, it's a sort of free town, and as long as you sort of respect their loose laws there, everything's okay. But they're not fond of UEE folks there. You want to go exterior? So, switch it. Switch it, Jared. No, point of view, Jared. Pilot, Jared. There you go. Okay. Alright, so now we can either request or cancel a landing if we wanted to, but we're going to request a landing from the Levski control tower there. Eslan Macken is the character here.
Landing pad assigned.
Okay, so he's assigned a landing pad for us. And that's kind of how in 3.0 we're going to have landing and the various different things, because we're going to have to control traffic in and out. And so you'll get a landing pad, you'll land, and then you'll have a certain amount of time to get out of your ship, and then the ship gets taken away to a hangar, and then the landing pad's available for someone else to land, and the same happens for exiting. If you take too long, then the screen will fade to black, and you'll be there in the airlock, just so no one can sort of sit on the landing pad forever and prevent other airlines from landing. All right, so let's head down. You want to flip these, Jared? There you go, perfect, awesome. So, one of the big things is we went from Olasar, I think we traveled about 1 million kilometers to Delmar. Now we've flown over the surface, coming here to Levski. And, the goal with Star Citizen is to have a very structured, but beautiful and tactile world and universe. So here we are, we've just tracked down. And we've arrived at Levski. So let's go head into Levski to look for Miles Eckhart. Alright, now we're going to have Chris fly out, and we're going to show you something here in a bit, which is kind of fun, but also shows the other big thing that I think is really important with Star Citizen is we are absolutely a multiplayer game, so you and your friends can adventure around in a huge universe, and for me, I think that's really important, especially when you try to have a big, detailed world, otherwise it gets a bit lonely. So here you are. People's Alliance respect local authorities. Peace wins every time. So definitely aging space if he's here. So let's head through the airlock into.
Pressure
Well, you got to get in a lift now. We're going to go down. So here's an example of the item 2.0. So everything has an inner thought when you interact with it. So we just call the elevator. And something to note in the elevators that we have in both Levski, actually they're in Grand X too, is they're real elevators. So there's a whole elevator system that calls them. They move around in the physical space. Okay, let's go to the lobby. And so let's walk out. So here's the area, the lobby is basically these are lifts from the 4 landing areas you can come to. Welcome to Levski. So you can sort of see the feel, the character, the grounding that we want in the world and the universe. Here's a statue. Remember Anthony Tanaka, who was this kid that was killed by Messeran forces back in the Mess area, and he's a sort of symbol of defiance against the UEE, and therefore it's quite, it's a statue they've had here to sort of symbolize their defiance against the UEE. And if we look out the window here, so we can see, there you are, that's the Levski that we came in throughout. And in fact, look who's looking in at us. It's Chris. Oh, and look, we can zoom in and look, there's, who's that? Glenn, you want to wave? There you go. So there's a lot of work that's gone into the tech to allow us to do this kind of detail at the same time, multiplayer, at this resolution, in and out. Anyway, it's difficult. So here in all our sort of landing locations throughout Stanton and the rest of the PU, so there would be somewhere like we would go there to get our ship repaired. The way that we're going to determine which area you would sort of respawn on essentially would be whenever you land at a landing location, you can go, so here's a residential area, and you can pay some money, some credits to basically get your room, like an easy hab on Port Olisar. And then when you sleep in the bed, that sort of says, okay, that's your checkpoint that you, so then if I was flying out in space and I got killed, I'd wake up in the hospital here in Levski as opposed to waking up in Port Olisar. And that's how you would sort of put your markers around as you go around. So let's call the elevator here. I think we did, right? Glenn, yeah? So this is an example. I know you guys probably said, oh, Chris is just saying that the elevators here move around properly, but no, they really do. And some of them are slow, like real life elevators like this one. So we'll sit here and we'll go down. Chris is going to show off, but we're also going to take a look. If we look at Chris's view, as he's looking around, you can actually see the elevator moving, right? So there you are. You see the elevator moving? Everything here in Levski it's the same as our ships. We build it. There's no cheating. There's no teleporting to different areas. It's all physically correct. Elevators physically move. So we'll get out here, the Grand Barter, and if we actually look at Chris's view, we can sort of see through his. So yeah, here we are again, and Chris is somewhere here. He's coming around. There you go. This is basically the elevator we came down, and there he is. So, and again, you can sort of see all the way in, and you can see the Grand Barter, and you can sort of see us, the player, right there, waving. Okay, so Glenn, let's turn around, because we're going to go down to the Grand Barter Bazaar, because that's where we're going to have to meet Miles. So head in, let's go down. All right, so here we go, into the Grand Barter Bazaar. So here we are in the Grand Barter Bazaar. And we look out, so like all the landing locations that we're going to have in Star Citizen, and this will be true in 3.02, is that they'll be selling different things. So you'll come to, say, Levski to buy things you can't buy in other places, and go to ArtCorp for this, buy things you can get there that you can't get elsewhere. So here would be probably more counterculture stuff, kind of like slightly illegal mods to weapons or stuff that you wouldn't normally get in sort of the authorized dealers. So this is a sort of bizarre market Gordy's in there would be where we would go and get armor and that kind of stuff. And there were various different shops and stores around here. And this whole area...
You there. You are a person of good taste, I can tell.
So we'll keep going. We don't... So the proper subsumption isn't in here yet, but with that in, we'll see people moving around, doing things, coming and going, have a lot more life. But the idea is to make all the locations that you go, depending on what their sort of population would make sense, are alive, have people doing things.
Tell your friends.
Carrying on their own little conversations, moving around. So you sort of feel like it's a living world, whether there's 50 other players there or there's just you. So let's just head up here. We're gonna find Cafe Muzan, which is where Miles Eckhart is hanging out. Go. And there you go. Looks like there's Miles there in the corner.
Glad you can make it. Grab a seat.
Right.
Sorry for the locale. Don't look like much, but the homemade stuff has some kick. Anyway, a job came in late last night. Some idiot hauler cut through low-sec space, got his crew vented. Company needs to retrieve the ship's black box to claim insurance on the lost cargo. Should be a romper job. Get in, get out. All my people are tied up with bigger ops. So I figured I could use this as a chance to make a new friend. I'll send the details. Let me know if you're interested.
So we can either accept or decline, but we're going to check the details first. So let's pull it up. There's the log. So the mission that we can take is the Dunder Sunbeam 4, which is a starfarer. It's attacked by outlaws yesterday. Crew and cargo presumed lost. Unfortunately, the pilot deviated from intended path into a monitor space in an ill-conceived attempt to shave time off their route. That means Dunder Shipping needs the black box data retrieved from the wreck in order to be reimbursed by an insurance company for the lost cargo. So the deliverables, the black box data from the Dunder Sunbeam 4, and we'll be paid 3,000 credits for that. So sounds like a mission we should take, so let's do that. Okay. Let's accept.
Great. Here's the tracking address for the ship. Let me know once you have the black box data.
Okay, we have a new objective, retrieve the black box. So let's head back out to the landing area and meet Chris up, and let's go look for a black box. And yeah, we're kind of sort of speed running through Levski here, but there's a lot of other areas out here. There's a whole ventilation SAF system that goes the back, and there's sort of catacombs and tunnels in Levski, and some of them won't be monitored, so you could perhaps get attacked. There's the hospital where you would wake up if you died in space. Like I said, there's conscientious objects over there with the various different things that you could buy. So there's a lot of different shops and things that you can do as you move around in Levski or the other landing areas. All right, so let's just head up to the lobby and then there's Chris faithfully waiting for us outside. head up to Hangar 3. Go, and as we're coming here, Chris is coming down to get us. A little quick. Oh, look at that landing! Brilliant. All right, let's just check our mission. Make sure we got everything sorted out here on the mission scheduler. So, okay. So we're locate the Starfighter, right? Retrieve the black box. Okay, cool. Hey, Chris, where are you? You didn't get us. You left us. No, we weren't bored.
Launch sequence complete.
All right. We're just showing that it isn't on rails at all. Okay. All right, so let's get the backup, and so we'll pull out here. And so you saw in People the Planet, but this is all real-time live while we're flying around. We just went to this incredibly detailed location. It's all coming in. So as we are now. Okay, let's do the picture-in-picture. Did we lose? We didn't have. Doesn't matter. Picture-in-picture. Jared, picture-in-picture. There we go. Right. So we'll start to head up, and once we've cleared the atmosphere, which you'll see on Chris's screen, we'll be able to quantum drive. And you can see in the distance where Levski is with the 4 different landing pads, the various sort of mining towers. And again, like I said, this is all seamless. We're streaming in, we're streaming out, we're not. There's no loading screens, there's no nothing. So we're just heading through the atmosphere now. Again, you can sort of see the scale and scope of the worlds we have. It's not small spheres, and there's no clip ranges and draws. So in terms of size and quality, we're really very happy with it. So let's see, we cleared the atmosphere now. So yeah, let's give it a few more as we just get out. As we pull away. Now more into space. And okay, let's quantum drive to the location we have for the Starfarer. So location's one of the moon around Delamar. So small asteroid field here. And that's the last known location that we're heading towards right now. Oops, a couple of pirates. So I guess it's time for Glenn to earn his stripes in the turret. Some nice shooting. Okay, one more. All right, come on. You'll go, Glenn. Chris, are you going to take all the glory? Shoot it. What's that? Come on, guys. Alright. Missile. Alright. Okay, who said the freelancer didn't kick some ass? And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the music's been sort of changing dynamically as we've been playing. So you're actually listening to the first version of our sort of music logic system that fades in and out and depends on what's happening. So I think we may debut that in Star Marine, the 2.6 patch, but it'll definitely be in 3.0. So here we are. We're coming towards the Starfarer, which looks like it's not come off very well. All right. Okay. So let's get in the back, and Glenn's gonna open the back door. And so one of the other, great things about Star Citizen, you'd be walking around a space station, walk out, get in a spaceship, fly 1,000,000 kilometers, land on a planet, get out, get a mission, get back in your ship, fly to an asteroid little belt around the moon, and come across a space wreck. All seamlessly, all the rest of stuff. Going from one sort of operation on foot, FPS, EVA, spaceflight. So it looks like there's been full decompression and it's vented inside. You want to, yeah. And if we look at, we can see through the dark. There you go. You can see little Glenn outside. Let's start EVAing. There we go. As we follow him. Okay, back to Glenn, and let's look for a way in to the Starfarer. Wow, some pretty catastrophic damage. All right, let's look back and see. There's Chris waiting for us. Oh, looks like we can get in this way, so let's head in here. That's how it looks. One of the crew member that unfortunately didn't do too well. Okay, let's just push him out of the way a bit. Let's head on. Let's try to find the captain's room so we can download the block box. And so, if those of you that have a Starfarer, have hung out around a Starfarer, you'll appreciate that it's not a small ship. So we're just moving around here. See another crew member that had an untimely demise. It's actually that heads the scanned version of Kyle, who's one of our IT guys in the UK office. So why don't you give Kyle a bump? Sorry, Kyle. All right, let's head in. All right. Okay, we're downloading the Black box. Poof. Download complete. So there we are, objective complete. We retrieved the black box. We just made 3,000 credits. Mission's now complete. The possible security job we had. And we've just now got a video message coming in. So let's listen to that, Glenn.
Got the black box data and verified it. I'll send it off. Great job. You know, I'm just gonna throw this out. But I ended up talking to a couple of contacts of mine. Turns out the pack that hit that ship are squatting in an old facility on that nearby moon. I'm just talking here, but it's not crazy to think that they're keeping the cargo there. These outlaws are scum, so it's not like anyone will miss them. The company's gonna claim the insurance. So it wouldn't technically be stealing if you happen to head on down and take it. Again, I'm not saying anything here. I'm just gonna send along a location on that moon and do what you want.
So we have a new additional message: reclaim stolen cargo if we want to take it. So we can like pull up our mission thing, and I think why the hell not? What do you guys? You want us to go to find the stolen cargo? Okay, let's do it, Glenn. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's find a way out of the stuff area here. Heavy armor takes a fair amount of damage. All right, finally. All right, okay, it's down here. We're in the cargo hold of the Starfarer. Push him away. Push. Ah! So I think you guys know about the Drake Dragonfly then, obviously. All right. There we go. All right. So let's head back to the Starfarer. I mean, sorry, the Freelancer. But yeah, so I probably don't need to introduce it, but the Dragonfly, we I think announced and sold a few months ago. but it's our first sort of space motorbike, or space hog if you want to call it. And it has a dual purpose because it has a whole gravlev system. So when you're on a planetary surface, you're like a land speeder. Which is pretty cool. You never know, that may be something that happens here in this demo. There you are, and there's little Chris is there waiting for us patiently in the Freelancer. Can you look down, look around or something? Yeah. All right, let's kind of bring it in. Here we go, slowly. So we don't necessarily, your Dragonfly will just about fit in a Freelancer, but probably want a slightly bigger ship to fit him in than this. But yeah, let's bring him in. Here we go. Oh! There he is. So let's lock up the back door. What's that? Yeah, no, that actually did that graphical bug, and that's actually something we haven't seen in all our playthroughs at the moment. But occasionally, when you take a vehicle, a spaceship, from inside a local grid of another spaceship out to the big global space grid into the local grid of another one, that's a degree of difficulty 11. All right, so we're going to head to the moon to look for this pirate base. Picture, Jared. All right, we're gonna get on our space. We're gonna get on the Dragonfly. All right, okay. Getting these things in and out of each other isn't always the easiest thing, so let's see what happens.
Shield charge complete.
Yeah, you're decoupled. Oh, okay, now you're coupled. You're gonna, okay, let's couple and go into ground left mode. Right. Hang on, who's that? Let's do some firing. So here we are. So you can go to first person view if you want. That's it. Chris should help out with the other Dragonfly. So we want to cut, Jared, you want to cut to Gregor and his Dragonfly? That's player 3, Jared. There you go, so this is Gregor here, playing the black, he's flying a black Dragonfly up. He got killed. Alright, player 1 now, back to player 2, sorry. Player 2, player 2. There you go, perfect. Player 2. Red 1, Jared, red 1. Alright, so let's head to the pirate base. See where the rover... Is the rover still getting away from us? Oh, there it is. So, go to player 4, Jared. Okay, back to player 2. Actually, alright, let's go after it. Go first person view. First person view, Melissa. There you go. No, while you're ramming into the things, go first person view. First person, so you know where you're going, but you're ramming into the thing all day. Go around to, yeah. I mean, I guess that's one thing to do. Alright, this is the pirate review. You're out of ammo. Chris, you may have to land and help out here. Alright, well I guess that's one way to get rid of pirates. Okay, so let's see what they were hiding here on their base. Okay, here we go. Alright. A Big Betty's crate, as he always says. And, alright, let's take... So again, here's sort of an example of the inner thought. So let's pick it up. There we go. So, little grabby hands action. So you'll be able to move and take things around as I've mentioned before. So let's take them out. You want to land the freelancer and let's start loading up the cargo. Glenn walks very slowly. He doesn't want to drop the box. Alright, look at that. Right, come out the back there. Let's just put the box down at the base here to Chris can go get it. Alright. Alright. Hang on, we got an incoming video message. Let's check that out. What's that, dude? Chris should come out and get the box. Hang on a sec.
So, find anything good? If you don't mind, I'll just have a look myself.
That doesn't sound very good. Don't know about that. What do you reckon, guys? Ups to daisy. Looks like we got double crossed. Damn it! That's the end of the demo. Actually, we'll go back one, 'cause I'll talk about that. So that's, as you can tell, there's a few unscripted moments in there, but that's the beauty of building a systemic world. We had quite fun, because that was actually not the way we scripted the end in our action. But that's sort of an example of the kind of action and play and flow that we expect to have in Star Citizen. So, seamlessly going from foot, space, down to the foot, EVA, down, flying, no loading screens, streaming in and out all these different locations. The planetary tech that we're rolling out and the V2 stuff I'm really excited about, which we'll show you at CitizenCon, is just allowing a lot more opportunity for different play experiences, as you can see here. So it's not just dogfighting, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And it also doesn't always have to be about combat. So, ultimately in the future, I think, if you wanted to find a little spot on a planet somewhere and make a little homestead, we're going to let you do that. I mean, we've got a huge amount of real estate now to play with. And there's just a lot of really interesting missions, whether it's sort of rescuing a downed pilot that's on a planet, or there's a remote research station that needs a delivery of medical goods, all these kind of things, but done at this sort of detail. So you could, fly, say, your Constellation Aquila with its rover, load it up with medical supplies, go up a difficult winding path in a mountain pass to drop it off at the remote research station that you can't land a ship at. So there's a whole bunch of sort of gameplay that I don't think you see in almost any other game. So that's sort of a preview of what we're going to do. There's going to be a lot more stuff, totally fluid going between it all. So I'm super excited. I think the team's excited. And we can't wait for you guys to play it. And I'm sure you guys can't wait too. So this in general, because we kind of do this stuff here at Gamescom, we've got sort of an Explorer sale in sort of celebration of the various planet stuff. So you guys can check that out on the website. And wanted to say thank you. So to the team that put this together. So we had all 4 of our studios around the world working very hard on integrating all these systems we've been working on to sort of show the first iteration of what you'll see in 3.0. So, we're obviously on stage here. We've got, our indomitable action heroes. So you got Chris, our pilot, Glenn. You got Gregor, Pirate 1, and Melissa, Pirate 2 here. So, and we've been having fun these last few days, showing this to the press and what we're doing here. And of course, everyone at the studios that have been working around the clock doing this. I mean, it truly was a global affair. Every single one of our studios worked. So essentially, that is one advantage of being in a lot of different time zones. It was sort of 24-hour last minute. Okay, we've got to polish this, we've got to polish that. They did great. Everyone that organized the event here, Sandy called out Cameron and Inez, but there's a whole bunch more people here that have been putting it together, like Tom Hennessy and Jared in the back, and all the volunteers that work really hard to help us and get all this stuff done. People that have been working on our show floor booth, David Swafford, wherever he is, he's been ably handling all the press and making sure I don't have a free moment while I'm here in Cologne. Would like to thank Intel, who have been fantastic. They sponsored us. They've allowed us to have our show floor presence, and we're going to be doing some really cool things with them. They've got some great new technology that's coming out. They've this. Optim SSD stuff that I've seen that's super cool because it's basically like memory, not really an SSD. And it's super fast, and it'd be very good for flying all around Star Citizen. And finally, all you guys, so everyone here and everyone that's watching this and everyone in the community that's backed the game, because you've enabled us as a team to be building a game that I think you probably would never see built anywhere else, especially not for the PC, at the level of detail and fidelity we're building it at. And it's only because of all your guys' support. And so, we are super, super thankful, and, you guys are awesome. And so thank you for letting it. Good. Thank you. Well, that's for you guys, by the way. I'd like to say thank you to everyone out there that supported everything, okay? And we'll see you in the verse and at CitizenCon, where we got some really cool stuff. So we didn't show any Squadron 42 stuff, but we will show that at CitizenCon. And as I said, some other stuff that I think you guys will really like. So if you thought tonight was good. All right, there you go. Thank you, everybody. And do you want to bring everyone up to...